Before we start, big, I don't know. Can you hear me?
Hi, can you hear me now then? Fettig is sitting there. Before we start here, I'll have to make a few announcements and a few thank yous. Because if you wait till the end, a lot of times you forget something. So we want to give a thank you to the Brownie Troop 10015 for handing out programs. We thank the County High School Band under the direction of Rachel Fettig for being here and playing. Thank you to Lisa Dumsett and her FCCLA for preparing dinner for us today. The auxiliary for furnishing bars. Shauna Hogno, who made the program for us. Ruth, Grandruth, and Rod Hill, who lead us in song. And the color guard. But I don't want to forget, most important, this is the first year that I can remember in at least 20 years I've seen so many young faces and young children in the audience, which is great to see. I thank you, audience, very much for coming on Veterans Day. Okay, please stand. Color guard, advanced colors. Two. At this time, the band play the national anthem, and Rod Gill will lead us in singing of the national anthem. And salute. I'll turn the mic over to Myron Sorman, chaplain, who will lead us in the pledge of the flag, opening prayer, and 30 seconds of silence for the MIA.
Pledge allegiance first.
Pledge is first.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Most gracious God, creator of us all, from whom cometh all help and blessings, look upon us gathered here, and with thy favor direct us in all our actions. Grant to us vigilant hearts, give us minds to know thee, diligence to seek thee, and wisdom to find thee. Sanctify us with thy presence, bless us with thy might, and assist us with thy counsel, that all our endeavors may begin with thee and truly may be happily ended. Amen. Now 30 seconds of silence. Thank you. Now we'll have the ECHS band and Rod Gillen.
High school band. There's only 8 of us. They sound pretty good. There are only 8 in the high school band. At this time, we'll call upon Rod Gillen to come up and sing the medley of Service Branch songs. As he sings them, I want you veterans to stand as they sing the branch you were in. If you're down in front here, please stand up and face the audience. Okay? And remain standing till all the branches have been sung. Rod.
Off we go into the wild blue yonder, climbing high into the sun. Here they come, zooming to meet our thunder. Adam, boys, give 'em the gun. Down we dive, spouting our flame from under. Off with one terrible roar. We live in fame or go down in flame. Nothing can stop the U.S. Air Force. Over hill, over dale, when we hit the dusty trail, that our army goes rolling along. Hear them shout in and out, counter march and left about, while our army goes rolling along. Then it's hi, hi, he, in the field artillery, call out our numbers loud and strong, for where'er we go, you will always know that our army goes rolling along, that our army goes rolling along. Look the halls of Montezuma to the shores of Tripoli. We fight our country's battles in the air, on land and sea. First to fight for right and freedom, and to keep our honor clean. We are proud to claim the title of United States Marines. Anchors away, my boys, anchors away. Farewell to college joys, we sail at break of day, 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 day. Through our last night on shore, drink to the foam, until we meet once more. Here's wishing you a happy voyage home. And I'm proud to be an American, where at least I know I'm free. And I won't forget the men who died, who gave that right to me. And I'll gladly stand up next to you and defend her still today. 'Cause there ain't no doubt I love this land. God bless the USA.
You know, some of you may not know this, but there was a time in our country's existence here, it's from 1955 to 61, and there are some men out here in this audience who served their country during that time frame. And since it was not declared wartime, they were never recognized as true veterans by our government, so they couldn't join organizations. That's a sad mistake. I wish the American Legion and those of them would change that, but they haven't as yet. So what happened is, a few years on the road, we formed the AMVETS, and they call it the American Vets. So any veteran could join that who was in the service. But that was a little late for some of those guys because they were already turned down for quite a few years, so they did not join. At this time, I would like those servicemen who served during 1955 to 61 stand so people can see who they are. If you could stand. So you got Ken up there? Anybody else? Oh, Alton Whiskart, you don't have to stand here. Leave said. Thank you. One of the reasons this time on the Veterans Day we don't have a speaker, because we want to recognize and honor some of the veterans, and some of them may not be here. So at this time, I would like, because a lot of people don't know who you are, I'd like all those veterans who served from 1991 to the present day to come forward and stand in front of the audience, please. I know they're not all here, but the ones that are here, I would like them to state their name, what theater they served in, and what their job was.
Good morning. I was in the Marine Corps band for 10 years, 2 months, and 27 days. And I was a drummer in the United States Marine Corps band. For the second Gulf War, I was in the Air Force, and I aligned target pods that flew under F-15s and F-16s that actually flew over enemy territory.
Chuck Bossingham. I was in Desert Storm, first theater, and all they did was collect prisoners and get casualty replacement.
Claire Dahl. I served in Desert Shield and Desert Storm. I was a military police officer, guarding the prisoners in the prisoner compound.
Curtis Snygard. I served in OIF 2, and I'm communication specialist.
Rodney Johnson. I served in Operation Iraqi Freedom as route clearance and Operation Enduring Freedom in Afghanistan as route clearance.
Thank you. Okay. And now I'd like to recognize some service to the community by the Color Guard. I want you to know that the Color Guard commander, Sergeant Arms, if you want to put it that way, Roy Owen, has taken over this job in the mid-'80s. He did it a few times, about '82, but I think when, was it Earl Benson? Morris Benson, when he retired, Roy took over permanently. Since that time, Roy has not missed a funeral. He has not missed a parade. He's made always sure that we've got a color guard at the various functions. So please extend your warm appreciation and gratitude to Roy. I was trying to convince Roy, because we have 2 uniforms, but I'll speak about that later. Next, I'd like you to recognize Dirk Olson. Dirk Olson discharged in the service in 1973. No matter where he's been and where he's at, he's never missed a Memorial Day or Veterans Day program. He's always come home to do so. Some of you may not know him, but I still tell him. He said, I can say it. He has terminal cancer, and he doesn't expect to make Memorial Day. In Vietnam, he was a tunnel rat. And if you know what a tunnel rat is, the life expectancy wasn't good, but he was very lucky. He never did encounter an enemy in the jungle or in the tunnels. He was wounded. He has a piece of shrapnel out of his leg, but he wouldn't accept a Purple Heart. And the reason he wouldn't accept his Purple Heart is I wasn't wounded by enemy fire. I was wounded by our own friendly fire. So please let the Dirk know, okay? brings me to John Ventrick. The official uniforms they're wearing now were finally purchased and bought in 1949. I don't know how many, and I'm sure he doesn't either. I don't know how many parades, don't know how many funerals and all that he has done over those years. But you think about that, 49 to the present, that's 65 years. That's a long time of doing honor guard and color guard. Carrying the flag and standing out in the cold, and freezing, so forth in the winter months and so on, sweating in the summer. And I was hoping that since we have a new uniform that the patches are on yet, that John will at least wear the new one so people can see what the new ones are going to look like. So it's taken 65 years to get new uniforms for the color guard. Okay? The next thing here of what's going to do was a special presentation today for Johnny Ebrecht. Initially, we had two. We had Sweet Benson and Johnny Ebrecht, to this day, have 70 consecutive years of membership to the American Legion. That's a long time to pay dues. So at this time, and I will mention for it so I don't forget, in the audience, we have one other member here. His name is Ken Ingberg. He has 71 years of consecutive membership. The record for the American Legion post in Crosby is 73 years, held by A.U. Anderson. So hang in there, guys. At this time, would Nicole and Ronnie Johnson come forward? We was going to have the color guard escort these two to Johnny where he was sitting, but he's not here because he's not feeling good. But we have, so they can present him his 70-year membership card and his 70-year patch. He also gets a, Danny, what's that called? Certificate of Senior Appreciation from the National Commander. I thought that'd be here by now, but it hasn't. So you would give him the patch, right? Do you have anything to say for your great-grandpa? Okay. So I think what we'll do is, instead of doing the extra stuff we were had planned, we'll just go from the next step here. Instead of having a benediction being read, we're going to have our benediction closing prayer by everybody rise standing and singing God Bless America. Read by Bob.
Just a comment before we continue. I'm overwhelmed with the number of young people who are here. I worked in the public schools for a long while, and at one time we had mostly people with gray hair who attended these events, and my compliments to all of you who saw fit to bring children here today. This is an important thing to do. The song we'll be doing in unison will be one written by Irving Berlin, introduced by Kate Smith. I'm old enough to remember Kate Smith. What we will do is we will sing the chorus, but we'll go back to repeat from the mountains to the prairies and that sort of thing, right? But before, most people just start out with the God Bless America. I would like to read to you the verse which precedes it, which is as follows. As the storm clouds gather far across the sea, let us pledge allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer.
Thank you, Rodney. Before I forget, I did forget one thing I wanted to say about John Adventure, since we have the young people. I would encourage you, as parents or school teachers, take a field trip to Johnny Adventure's museum. And he has a lot of history and vehicles and so forth, which he's worked on over the years. I won't be around forever, you know, so take advantage of it now when you can. Please do so. John was very good. Only thing about John, once you get him started, that's why I didn't call him up here. He doesn't know when to quit. But it's always very interesting. Okay, now I have one last thing. And I was going to do this earlier, and I know I always forget it. I was wondering if there's anybody in the audience who would like to come forward and say anything for any particular family member, veteran, or whatever the case may be. If there anybody would like to come over and say anything, I'll get the mic to them. If not, then we'll retire to color guard. Retire to colors. Hands, look. Now we go in. Make sure you thank everybody.